Have you ever jolted awake from a dream, tears streaming down your face, wondering why your heart feels so heavy and your emotions so raw? Waking up crying from a dream isn't just a random occurrence or something to dismiss as an overactive imagination. It's your soul's way of processing deep emotional truths that you might not be fully aware of during your waking hours. These tearful awakenings are powerful signals from your subconscious, revealing feelings that have been buried, ignored, or left unresolved for far too long. Sometimes, the mind pushes these emotions into dreams where they can safely surface and be expressed through tears. It's a form of silent healing, a way your inner self communicates that something important needs attention, whether it's grief, guilt, fear, or loneliness. These moments are often confusing or overwhelming because they tap into emotions that might be hard to face head-on when you're awake. But understanding what your soul is trying to tell you through these dreams can be life-changing. It allows you to recognize the emotional blocks holding you back and offers a path toward healing and self-acceptance. In this video, we'll uncover 6 profound emotional truths your soul is processing when you wake up crying from a dream. From releasing hidden grief and moving towards self-forgiveness, to confronting deep fears and letting go of long-held anger, each section will explore a different aspect of the emotional work your subconscious is doing for you. These dreams also speak to feelings of loneliness and the vital need for acceptance and self-love. If you've experienced these tearful awakenings, this video will help you decode their meaning and guide you toward embracing the healing they offer. So stay with us as we dive into the messages your soul is sending when it can only speak through tears in dreams. One of the most common reasons people wake up crying from dreams is because their soul is releasing hidden grief that has been buried deep within. Grief isn't always about the loss of a person. It can stem from any form of emotional pain, whether it's a broken relationship, a missed opportunity, or a painful memory you've tried to suppress. During the day, life often demands that we push aside these feelings to keep moving forward. But when you sleep, your subconscious provides a safe space for this grief to surface, allowing you to feel the sorrow that your waking mind might be avoiding. These dreams often replay scenes from your past or create symbolic situations that evoke the feelings you haven't fully processed yet. It might be a dream where you're saying goodbye to someone or something important, or simply feeling overwhelmed by a deep sadness that you can't quite explain. The tears you shed upon waking are your soul's way of purging this trapped grief, helping you slowly let go of pain that weighs you down. This emotional release, while painful, is a vital part of healing. Ignoring or denying grief doesn't make it disappear. It only prolongs the suffering and can lead to emotional numbness or physical symptoms later on. So, if you find yourself waking up crying from dreams, it's important to recognize this as a powerful signal that your soul is working through unresolved sorrow. Embracing this process with compassion can open the door to true healing and emotional freedom. Remember, allowing yourself to grieve is not a sign of weakness, but a courageous step toward reclaiming peace and wholeness. Yet, grief isn't the only truth your soul reveals through tearful dreams. Often, these dreams also point toward a different but equally important emotional journey, one of self-forgiveness and acceptance. Waking up crying from a dream can also be a profound sign that your soul is working through the powerful process of self-forgiveness. Many of us carry hidden burdens, guilt, regret, or shame over past mistakes that we never fully release. These emotions can linger quietly in the background of our minds, affecting how we see ourselves and preventing us from moving forward. When these feelings become too heavy to carry consciously, our subconscious steps in, using dreams as a canvas to confront these internal struggles. In these tearful dreams, you might find yourself reliving moments where you felt you failed or hurt someone, or scenes where you wish you had acted differently. These aren't punishments, but invitations from your deeper self to acknowledge and release the weight of guilt. The tears you shed upon waking are a natural response to this emotional unburdening, a sign that you're beginning to forgive yourself, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. Self-forgiveness is a crucial step in healing because it breaks the cycle of self-judgment and opens the door to compassion and growth. Without it, the past can trap you in patterns of self-sabotage and doubt, limiting your happiness and peace. Dreams that awaken you with tears often mark the turning point where your soul urges you to let go of harsh self-criticism and accept your imperfections as part of being human. This process might feel uncomfortable or overwhelming because it requires honesty and vulnerability, but it ultimately leads to freedom from emotional pain. Recognizing that your soul is guiding you towards self-forgiveness can be deeply empowering, reminding you that healing comes from within and that you deserve kindness, especially from yourself. But self-forgiveness is just one piece of the emotional puzzle your dreams reveal. Often, these tearful awakenings also highlight fears you've kept hidden away, waiting for the moment to be faced. Waking up crying from a dream can also signal that your soul is confronting deep-seated fears that have been lurking beneath the surface of your consciousness. These aren't the everyday worries or fleeting anxieties we all experience, but profound fears that shape how you move through life. Fear of abandonment, rejection, failure, or even fear of your own vulnerability. Dreams provide a unique space where these fears can come to light in ways your waking mind might avoid. In these tearful dreams, you might find yourself in situations where you're left alone, unheard, or unable to protect yourself, symbolizing the emotional vulnerabilities you carry. The tears you shed aren't just about sadness. They're an acknowledgement of how deeply these fears affect your sense of safety and belonging. Facing these fears in dreams is both a challenge and an opportunity. It's difficult because it forces you to acknowledge uncomfortable truths about your emotional landscape, truths you might prefer to keep hidden. Yet, it's also a crucial step toward emotional resilience. By allowing these fears to surface, your soul is creating space for healing and growth, urging you to stop running from what frightens you and start understanding it. This confrontation can bring clarity, showing you which fears are rational and which are rooted in past wounds or false beliefs. It also helps break the power these fears have over your decisions and relationships. Crying upon waking signals that your emotional defenses have softened enough to face these difficult feelings, even if only for a moment. It's a sign that you're ready to begin releasing the grip of fear and reclaim your personal power. But the process doesn't end with fear alone. Often the tears are also about letting go of anger and resentment, emotions that can weigh heavily on the heart if left unexpressed. Waking up crying from a dream can also be your soul's urgent call to release anger and resentment that have been building up inside you. These emotions, while often seen as negative or destructive, serve an important purpose. They signal when boundaries have been crossed, when injustices have hurt you, or when you've been wronged in ways that your conscious mind hasn't fully processed. Dreams offer a safe and powerful space for these feelings to surface, especially when waking life has demanded that you suppress or ignore them. In these tearful dreams, you might experience scenarios filled with confrontation, frustration, or betrayal, where the anger you hold inside finally finds expression. The tears you wake with are not just sadness. They're a complex blend of release, relief, and sometimes confusion, as your soul works to cleanse the emotional toxicity of resentment. Holding on to anger, especially when it's unacknowledged, can silently erode your mental and physical health, creating barriers to happiness and inner peace. Your dreams are showing you that it's okay to feel this anger, to recognize it, and to let it go, rather than letting it fester and control your life. This process isn't about justifying negative behavior or holding grudges, but about freeing yourself from the weight of bitterness so you can heal and move forward. Tears in these dreams reflect the emotional work of transformation, shifting from pain and hurt to acceptance and peace. They encourage you to find healthy outlets for your frustration, whether through honest conversations, creative expression, or self-care practices. By facing your anger honestly in dreams, you gain the clarity needed to resolve inner conflicts and restore emotional balance. But anger isn't the only feeling these tearful dreams reveal. Often, they also reflect deep feelings of loneliness and isolation that your soul desperately wants you to acknowledge and heal. Waking up crying from a dream can also reveal your soul's profound experience of loneliness and emotional isolation. These dreams often bring to the surface feelings that you might push aside during your busy waking hours. The aching need to be truly seen, heard, and understood. In the dream world, loneliness can be portrayed in many ways. Standing alone in a vast empty space, being ignored or excluded by others, or wandering without direction or connection. These images are powerful metaphors for the emotional isolation you might feel deep inside. It's important to understand that feeling lonely doesn't always mean you're physically alone. It can stem from a lack of meaningful connection or a sense that those around you don't really know or support you. The tears you wake up with after such dreams reflect this deep yearning for connection and the pain that comes from feeling disconnected. These dreams are your soul's way of urging you to recognize this emotional need, to be honest with yourself about how isolation may be affecting your well-being. They encourage you to seek out genuine relationships where vulnerability and authenticity are welcomed, not judged or dismissed. Healing loneliness often means reaching out, building bridges, and nurturing connections that feed your heart and spirit. It also calls for self-compassion, understanding that your worth isn't defined by how many people are around, but by the quality of the bonds you form and how deeply you can accept and love yourself. These tearful dreams shine a light on the importance of community and emotional intimacy, reminding you that healing comes not only from within, but also from the support and love of others. Yet, loneliness is just part of a larger emotional awakening. These dreams also invite you to embrace a vital truth about yourself, the need for acceptance and self-love, which is the foundation for all healing and growth. Waking up crying from a dream can often signify that your soul is reaching a breakthrough moment, a deep and vital step toward acceptance and self-love. These dreams carry a powerful message that you are moving beyond judgment and self-criticism, opening your heart to embrace yourself fully, flaws and all. In our daily lives, many of us struggle with harsh inner voices that tell us we're not good enough, worthy, or deserving of happiness. These critical thoughts can bury beneath layers of defense, making it hard to access genuine self-compassion. But when you cry upon waking from a dream, it's often because your subconscious is dissolving these barriers, allowing feelings of tenderness and forgiveness to flow through you. The tears are not just expressions of sadness. They are the release of old pain, shame, and the weight of expectations you've carried for too long. This emotional cleansing marks a turning point in your journey toward healing. It means your soul is telling you that it's okay to accept yourself without conditions, to nurture your own needs, and to hold space for growth without harsh judgment. These dreams encourage you to start or continue a practice of self-care that honors your worth, whether through kind self-talk, mindful reflection, or simply allowing yourself to rest when needed. Self-love isn't selfish. It's a necessary foundation that empowers you to navigate life's challenges with resilience and grace. Embracing this truth can transform how you relate to yourself and others, fostering healthier relationships and a deeper sense of peace. So when you wake up crying from a dream, recognize it as a sacred moment of emotional awakening, your soul's way of guiding you toward greater compassion and acceptance. This is where true healing begins, and it prepares you for the next chapters of your life, filled with more freedom, joy, and authentic connection. Waking up crying from a dream is one of the most profound signals your soul can send, revealing emotional truths that often remain hidden beneath the surface of your daily life. These tearful awakenings are not random. They carry deep meanings tied to the core of your emotional and spiritual well-being. From releasing long-suppressed grief to working through guilt and self-forgiveness, your dreams provide a safe space to confront difficult feelings that your waking mind may shy away from. They shine a light on fears that have quietly shaped your decisions, urging you to face them with courage rather than avoidance. The tears that greet you upon waking also signal the release of pent-up anger and resentment, inviting you to cleanse your emotional wounds and move forward with a lighter heart. Beyond these intense emotions, your dreams reveal a longing for connection, exposing feelings of loneliness and isolation that crave acknowledgement and healing. Most importantly, these tearful moments represent a powerful turning point, a call toward embracing acceptance and self-love. It's in these moments that you begin to shed self-judgment and open yourself to compassion and growth. Understanding the messages behind these dreams offers you invaluable insight into your inner world, encouraging you to honor your emotions rather than suppress them. It's a reminder that healing is not linear or easy, but it is essential. These dreams invite you to be gentle with yourself, to seek support when needed, and to recognize that vulnerability is a source of strength, not weakness. So the next time you wake up crying from a dream, don't rush to dismiss the tears or push the feelings away. Instead, listen closely to what your soul is trying to communicate. Reflect on the emotional truths emerging from your dreams and consider how you might begin to address them in your waking life. This process of awareness and healing will guide you toward greater peace, resilience, and emotional freedom. Your dreams hold keys to your heart's deepest needs. Unlock them, and you open the door to transformation.